Sorry, I did not expect this to take that long. I'm coming. Not yet. I am coming. I thought I'd be able to do quicker, and I was not. I made a drink to celebrate 100 episodes of Tubi Tuesday. I should do all the intros, right? Welcome to Tubi Tuesday. It's time for Tubi Tuesday. It's Tubi Tuesday. Yes. It tastes much better now. It was mostly grape, and then whenever they had the orange cream stuff, and then I added regular grape Propel, and some of the strawberry kiwi one, but I could not taste any strawberry kiwi. The grape overpowered it, and it tastes weird. It's like medicine, so I added some orange flavored vitamin water. 0 sugar, of course. Much better. Back to tasting like orange. Anyway, we're not going to talk about my drink preferences. No. We are here today to celebrate 100 episodes of Tubi Tuesday by finally talking about the movie that I wanted to do since the beginning of this damn show, but always chickened out. I always see it there in Tubi or in the free section of Fandango/Vudu. It's there. And I always wanted to watch it and do a review, and I always just say, nah, it sounds too stupid. No. I have stupid. Let's just say I've seen dumber. I've seen more stupid movies than this one. I also don't know how to begin. Because how do you start a review for a movie about someone who has the teeth down there? Yeah. Down where? Down here. Yeah, it's a movie about a teenage girl who finds out she has teeth down there. And yeah, and all the shitty ass people that are in her life that just want to rail on her. Jesus Christ. And by the end of the movie, she's completely turned, because she starts out this, Jesus freak, don't have sex till marriage, abstinence is the thing. They even go as far as to tell you that if you take a vow of abstinence, and according to this movie, you cannot flick the bean, so to speak. That's a no-no. And I go, that's bullshit. Alright, abstinence is one thing, but if you're abstinent, you can absolutely flick the bean. Or rub the sausage, as some might say. I never heard it that way before. But anyway, link your sausage. I don't know. Because that's a way to sort of counteract the abstinence. You cannot have sex? Okay, there are other routes. But to say you cannot even do that? That's just... throw me off a cliff. I'm sorry. And doctors will even tell you that doing that, not throw me off a cliff. The other thing, flicking the bean, linking the sausage, that's a natural thing, and it's good for your system, right? Because you get it all pent up in there, I'm just saying, don't listen to these stupid ass people in this movie saying you can't even do that if you're abstinent, because that's bullshit, okay? No. So, our main character here... So, we have a scene. I don't know why this scene is in there. Because it implies something later, but it never really comes back around. Because it starts off in, many, many years ago. And it's this... The older stepbrother doesn't like the younger sister. And then they're playing in the pool, and he gets bit. And if you know what the movie's about, you're thinking, how did he get bit? What was he doing? Right? It never goes that far. Or it never goes in that direction. Because it's at one point, The grown-up version of him, who's an asshole, is like, oh, she knows what she did. She knows. So it's implied that he knows about it. Especially since it's implied that he knows about it because with the various women he has, he only does it the back way. So I'm like, oh, okay, so they're saying he's aware of it and doesn't want to do that again. But then by the end, that just sort of is thrown out the window because we need to have her get revenge on him. And if you go, yeah, technically they're step siblings, and you've seen a million videos on the internet about that. Sure. Yeah. So we meet, our main character is Dawn, who is a spokesperson for a Christian abstinence group, The Promise. Sounds like a cult to me. I'm sorry. You want to worship God? Pray to Jesus? That is absolutely fine. I am not saying you can't. I will never say that you can't. You have the freedom to, your own religion, all that. Just don't try to preach it to me. Please. I beg of you, don't try to preach it to me. Because it's like, if you want to do that, that's fine. And if you want to try to bring others in, fine. But read the room here. If you come up to me and I'm looking like this, you go, oh, no. And it'll be fine. Because I've had experience with this. Where you say, no thank you. But then you still get people showing up. Right? A friend of mine had an incident with Mormons where he decided to open the door and talk to him instead of ignoring it, and they kept going back. And he's like, I shouldn't have opened the fucking door. I'm like, yeah? And I'm just sitting there, and there was one dude that looked at me, and I gave him a look like, don't you even? And he just kind of looked back down again. I'm like, yeah, don't even try to talk to me. Like, no. I don't care if you're going to do that stuff. Don't try to force it on me, okay? Can we agree on that? Okay. I don't talk about religion. I believe he's there, but I don't feel the need to have to get out of bed early in the morning on a Sunday to go to a church to most likely just fall asleep in the pew. I mean, come on. What else would I do? Even if I did believe in it right back. Because you're getting me up at like what? 8 in the morning to do this? Come on. I mean, I'll get up 8 in the morning, but like, if I'm getting up to do other stuff 8 o'clock in the morning, that's fine. But if you're dragging my ass out of bed, just put me back in. Okay? That's what I didn't like about church. You gotta get up. I went to Sunday school. I did all that stuff as a kid. Yeah. So, one day, Dawn meets Toby with an E. Toby, like Tobey Maguire. I think is how he spells it, yeah. Dawn and her friends, Gwen and Phil, and Toby begin going out as a group. Because apparently, according to this group, The Promise, you can't have one-on-one dates because that will always lead to sex. Trust me, I've had quite a few one-on-one dates that didn't lead to shit. Okay? Some did. But that's what, she was already my girlfriend. But I've had other dates. Mostly they were already my girlfriends, but like, I do the thing. I got yelled at once for not walking her to the door. Walk her to the door. Up there. And we just sort of looked at each other because we both knew. Because my mom's like, I'm not going to watch. I won't watch. I promise. And she's like, and then I get it. She goes, you didn't give her a kiss. I'm like, you said you weren't going to watch it. It's weird when your mother is driving you around, but when she's driving you around in a van that has no back seats and you just got to sit on the floor. Yeah, we were ghetto, man. Anyway, none of that. I did not have any teen sex, I can tell you that much. I was an adult of 21 years old. No, 23 years old. I was a full-fledged adult when I waited. And that's why I tell my son, you have to wait till you're 30. Because you ain't making me a grandpa until when he's 30, I'll be 54. That's good enough. Right? Because I was 24 when he was born. So you think 50. Yikes, that's 74. No, when he's 30, not 50. When he's 30, 20 years, yeah, I'll be 54. That's old enough for me to be Pop, okay? Grandpa, you can call me Pop. Then I told him, you can't call me Pop till I'm 50. And he can't have kids till he's 30. He's kind of looked at me. I'm serious. You can't date till you're 25. We always joke, you got a girlfriend? No. And I go, boyfriend? No. I am serious though, because it doesn't matter. To me anyway. As we move on. So, yeah. But Toby and Dawn find that they're attracted to each other, right? And they decide, oh, well, we shouldn't go out alone together. But that doesn't work, and they end up going swimming in a local swimming hole, because this is one of those places that has just a place you can go swimming with a waterfall or some shit, right? They go into a cave to get warm and they start kissing, and then the shit hits the fan. Have I seen this before? I'm starting to realize this. I don't know. Maybe I have. I don't think I have, though. I don't know. Anyway, Don immediately gets uncomfortable and tries to tell him to stop, but he doesn't listen, and then one thing leads to another, and champa. Well, no, he knocks her head, he smacks her head on the ground, which, gets her in a daze. As he then tries to continue what he was doing, she tries to fight back, and then champa. So, did her hitting her head activate it? Is that it? Is that what it is? I don't know. And then she runs off. Right? And then she goes to another promise meeting, and she runs into her classmate Ryan at a dance. He takes her home and asks her out on a date. She says no. And Don ends up going back to the swimming hole and then sees there's a crab crawling on his coco jumbo that's just severed there. She then throws her purity ring off a cliff, because somehow this means she... Okay, let me tell you something, because I've seen this before in other movies. Purity ring thing. R word doesn't count. Alright, well, that's my virginity. Sure. But it does... I don't think it counts. Because that's not fair. It shouldn't count. It shouldn't count, because no one should be able to take it from you unless you want them to take it from you. You know what I'm saying? This shouldn't count as her losing her virginity, but if it's broken, then I don't know. Physically, maybe, but I don't know. But her throwing it off it's not her. It makes it seem like it's her fault, but it's not her fault. She didn't give it up willingly. I don't know. It's the same thing, and I think it's Degrassi, where Darcy, she gets drugged and she wakes up and she realizes that she has been assaulted, and she totally ditches the whole God thing, and it's like, but it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong, except for maybe get too drunk. I don't know, but I just want, she did not do anything wrong. You know what I mean? She then researches this thing called vagina dentata, which has hold on. It's a folk tale tradition in which is said to contain teeth. I like how the demonstration is a belt with another belt hanging down in the shape of a with little teeth in it. A spiked Venetian chastity belt. That's what it is. Okay. with association indicated that sexual intercourse may result in injury, emasculation, or castration. The topic of you know what, Dentantata, might also cover a rare medical condition affecting the you know what, in case it is more accurately termed you know what dermatoid cyst. I don't need to see that picture. It's a folk tale to discourage unknown women and to discourage you know what. R word. It's a myth, apparently. I don't know. She goes to see a you know what ecologist, Dr. Godfrey, who was just Pice, who was Raphael in the Ninja Turtles movie. He was also the boss in Michael Have Issues, which I have a short-lived review on it. It's okay show, but it's that guy. He was Mr. Biederman was his character on that show. It's one of those things where you see him and you go, oh, I know that guy. Yeah, he was on a bunch of things. But during this, it says here he assaults her, but he's just doing his thing, right? And he's a little aggressive, I guess. But it seems like he's just doing his thing, and then she freaks out and bites his fingers off. Four of his fingers are bit off. We see later. So he just going full. No wonder she freaked out. Apparently he had no glove, which is that's gross. You're a doctor, man. On her way home, she sees police cars passing her, as well as what looks like Toby's car. And that evening, she returns to the pool, but the swimming place to investigate. When she arrives, the police are bringing up Toby's body, and she returns home to find her mother. She's unconscious on the floor. We established that her mom is sick, and something's going on, and her mom is unconscious on the floor while her dumbass stepbrother and his girlfriend are just in the bedroom doing it. And they take her to the hospital. And it is Don goes to see Ryan. And he sort of helps her out by giving her a sedative, stimulates her with the that thing. And though she's afraid to go any further, he just sort of relaxes her and becomes consenting, and they have a nice little time, I guess. But then they decided, wait, everyone in this movie has to be a dick. So, after this great time they have, she calls him her hero, everything. There's a scene where we get to see her boobs, when she's standing in the mirror. There's no reason. It's like that scene in Night Killer where she's just. It's a little more appropriate here because she just had sex, but in that movie, she just gives herself a breast exam or something. That movie is ridiculous, and this one is good point. This has a more serious tone than that one. Is a little goofy, but yeah. So then she gets ready to leave, and then they start doing it again. Like I said, for some reason they gotta make him look like a dick. I don't know why. Because his buddy calls, and he starts bragging on her, yeah, as we speak. And he's like, here, say something. He's like, what? She's like, no. He's like, oh, you heard her? No? And she gets all pissed, and the next thing you know, it chomp chomp. But this time, instead of freaking out, she goes, oh shit. And he's like, ah! She just takes off. We then cut to as the trailer park turns, because the dad now has had enough of Brad's bullshit and tries to throw him out. But he sicks his Rottweiler on him. On Bill, the stepdad. His dad, her stepdad. And apparently, Brad is in love with Dawn. I didn't hear that part. Apparently, the mom dies in the hospital, and she meets with Bill and Brad's girlfriend at the hospital. She sees that Bill is injured, and apparently Brad had directly told Melanie to ignore the mom's cries for help. So she gets pissed and goes to the house to seek revenge. She puts makeup on, gets all nice, and she seduces him. And he just, he goes for it. And then, champa. Apparently he doesn't realize it till now that it wasn't, she didn't bite him with her mouth, but it was that. But that's not what they implied at the beginning of the movie. They implied at the beginning of the movie that he knew the whole thing. She knew what she did. And I would still like to know, not only details per se, but I'd like to know what was going on to where he was bit. You know what I mean? What was he doing? They don't explain that. Maybe they didn't want to go into it, but... And then is where we get ridiculous. So it bites off his dingly-dongly Coco Jumbo. She drops it on the ground, and Brad calls for his dog to attack her, but the dog eats the Coco Jumbo, spitting out the piercings. And Don leaves, and you just see a shot of him going, She gets on the bike and goes away from home, but the tire goes, which gets her to hitchhike. She accepts a ride from this clearly perverted old man. He's just like looking at her, right? And she falls asleep, but wakes up nighttime outside a convenience store and he's just looking at her. And she tries to leave and it's locked. He's gonna have her way with her, and she just this had me. She stops and then turns to the old man like this and goes, go ahead and try it. And the movie ends there. She went from victim to female empowered hero. Right? And I'm telling you, if this came out now, people would lose their fucking minds. I'm serious. If you made this movie now, people would be screaming woke up to the heavens because of that's basically what it is, a female empowerment movie. But where this works is because, one, it's an original thing and you're not trying to shove it into something else. Okay? Disney remaking your movies and shoving in female empowerment bullshit where it shouldn't be. I agree that Disney princesses had that little bit of female empowerment going their way. But when you try to make it over the top like you did, all the princesses wanted to do other things. But then you go to do such things as Jasmine saying it's not enough for her to just, be a strong female character. I want to be Sultan. That's not how it works. Sorry, honey. You get to be the queen. Not according to that movie, though, the remake. And Snow White. Oh, no, I can't just be old Snow White that runs away with the prince. No, I gotta fight back for my kingdom. That I didn't have to fight back in the original because the old witch fell off the cliff. And she did in the remake for some reason. They didn't have that in Pete's Dragon, though. The remake. So this movie... Oh. What do you give a movie like this? Middle of the road? I had fun with it. I'll give it a low. Pretty good. I had fun with it. I did have fun with it. So, yes. And thus brings our 100th episode of Tubi Tuesday to a close. Not clothes. Close. Not clothes. Close. We're not bringing it to clothes. Idiot. To close. You're yelling at yourself. I do it often, and it's. I don't like to do it, but if I have to, I have to. You're stupid. I know this. You're not telling me anything new. Oh, I guess you're right. Of course I'm right. Wouldn't that mean I'm right too? Let's end the episode. Okay. So, what are your thoughts on teeth? Leave a comment so much you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I've been Scotty, and I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.